Hi, everyone.
Well,
Um,
hello, everybody. My name is Debra Taubenslag, and I'm here with Brenda Eaton. And the one thing we both have in common is we're both moms of adults with special needs. And Brenda, tell us about your situation with your son and what that has to do with acceptance. That's a huge word, and I know you have a lot to share with other moms just like us.
yeah, so my son is currently 28, turning 28 on Thursday. So this road has been a journey. I became a professional in the field of autism. I felt the need and was drawn to that. And just talking with Deborah, I think we felt that talking about acceptance was an important piece of it. And there's, different stages to acceptance. For me, my son was, when he was first diagnosed, um, he had a lot of good skills, but as I think for most folks, you don't know where your child's going to end up, and accepting that your child's going to be different and that there's going to be a different path for them can be kind of a struggle. Once I was really searching for a diagnosis, and once I finally got it, then I had to accept it, and that was kind of a different step. So for me, my son has an autism diagnosis, and we did verbal behavior, and he did great with that. We taught him to talk and everything, and then he went to kindergarten, and then he had to learn to raise his hand. So we had some more things to teach. So it
Yeah,
was ongoing, always accepting new challenges and being able to deal with those difficulties. Sometimes it would be a kind of a depressing kind of thing, like, oh gosh, now there's something else I have to tackle. But I
oh yeah,
think when we learn to accept the fact that we want to help our child, and there's always going to be those types of struggles, um, that's going to help build and grow our resilience. I can say currently my son's 28. um, on Thursday. He started a new job this week, and for him,
wonderful.
yes. So for me, wonderful acceptance that he is, he lives independently with support. He has his job, but he also struggles with acceptance and dealing with his life and his need for acceptance of who he is and his path. So dealing with acceptance is a big part of what we deal with. And I think what I do, my practices are being mindful, being present, and knowing that and accepting my son for who he is, because he's a wonderful guy.
That's
He's
right.
amazing. He's inspirational. People love him, and I love him to death. I wouldn't want him any other way. So he has taught me so much, and I am so grateful. So those are all a part, I think, of
So
understanding that
here's my
acceptance.
question to you. How did you come to accept what is, and how did that acceptance change you and your future dreams about yourself and your accomplishments?
Yeah, so for me at the time, I had just gotten a master's in education, and I was planning to go to work. I was offered a teaching job, and then my son got diagnosed, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't accept. I'm going to be staying home to work with my son. So it kind of became a part of who I am, because I mean my interest was in education to begin with. So it wasn't a far stretch for me to then be going and seeking information. So uh, did I possibly get consumed by it? Yes, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But it also related to my field of study. So I became a board certified behavior analyst. I connected with other moms. So, accepting the fact that my world was not what it was before,
Mhm.
for me wasn't too difficult, because I was in education mode to begin with. So my marriage at that time was um, challenged. We were already having difficulties. So, um, the concept of marriages struggling with parents of children with disabilities having struggles in marriage.
Oh,
I was
certainly,
going through it
because
at that time.
the child always comes first. But
Yeah,
what I'm hearing from you by accepting the the truth of what's happening rather
yeah,
than being an ostrich, it actually took you on a different path and became a purpose.
yes,
Became a purpose for you to not only help your son, but to help others. So
absolutely.
it
And
was life-changing in a good way.
yes,
If you think
absolutely.
about it, because you could have
Yeah.
just stayed stuck
Mhm,
and mourned your expectations
mhm.
of what was that you wanted.
Right,
But
absolutely.
but you
Yeah, I
turned it
think
around by
yeah,
accepting it, and it became a very purposeful
yeah,
journey for you. That's
absolutely.
wonderful.
I can look back now and say it's definitely a path I was meant to follow. And I think the idea of resisting is not helpful, and accepting is important. And I think being able, yeah, I kind of have to be in acceptance in order to move forward, to move
That's
with
true. And do you
intention.
also
So
feel that, that you serve as a role model for your son?
absolutely, we all do. Our kids are watching us. Anybody who doesn't
That's
think
right.
that we aren't role models for our kids, I mean, yeah, definitely a role model for both my children. I have a daughter as well, who's 29. So I think it's important. We need to set standards and models for our kids, and we need to let go of societal norms and expectations because they don't fit everyone. And I'm not just talking about our kids, but
That's
just
right.
everybody is
Absolutely.
diverse, and
Mhm, mhm.
I think it's important to understand that. So accepting who your child is, who you are, and understanding that societal norms, that's just what they are. They're just norms. It doesn't mean everybody fits in the box. And gee, who wants to be you know boring? Want to
Well,
be a little different.
that's right, and
Yeah,
everyone has natural gifts and talents.
absolutely, absolutely. How
And
about you,
you
Deborah? How
well,
about you with your son?
acceptance to me is very different than what acceptance is to you.
Yeah.
Um, my son is actually turning well, he is 38. He just turned 38. And he doesn't have autism. He has frontal lobe brain damage. He was a preemie. And he's highly intellectual, but he has issues with cause and effect. And he's very vulnerable and innocent. In many ways, he's very mature, and in other ways, he's extremely young. And he's very much aware of his limitations. But acceptance, I accepted what was very early, and he didn't, because he really wanted to fit in and be a regular ed kid. And that never was the case. He was in special ed his whole life. And it took spiritual hypnosis for him to realize that, hey, I am different, and that's okay, because there's a plan, there's a divine plan. And that's what changed his whole entire life and his way of being. And then he became a self advocate. He decided to go to Partners with Policymaking, and he learned how to be a self advocate on the local level, the state, and even the national level. And he was really thrilled about that. And he's very active doing that. And it made him feel good about himself, because at the end of the day, we just want them to feel really good about themselves and to
Absolutely.
contribute in their way.
Mhm.
But acceptance, early on when he was first born, when they told me that he would never walk or talk, and that if he survived, there would be severe mental deficits.
Mm.
And I could not accept that, because I was told I could never have a child. And I thought, oh no, this is not going to happen.
Mm.
And I knew that we only used a tiny little portion of our brain. So I was on a mission to untap the unused portion of the brain, to be able to give him the, besides doing early intervention and infant stim, I left no stone unturned. Literally, I did everything that traditional medicine and education, but also the Eastern. I looked all over the globe for techniques, and including metaphysical and spiritual. So my son was the guinea pig for everything, and it
Yeah.
really, really helped him to not only survive, but to thrive. And he's a wonderful man. And I am, till this day, I'm still always looking, not for the magic bullet, but just for other ways to
Mm.
encourage him and to help him not only heal and help himself, but to be of service and to help others. So
That's great. Yeah, you must feel really good about that. You sound like you were resilient right out of the gate.
it was fierce determination. Was it challenging? Of course it was. It was
Yeah.
challenging on my marriage as well. But we decided to team up together. I always felt that, I just soldier on. Whenever he used to say, "Well, suppose plan B doesn't work." I said, "Well, Nick, we have a whole alphabet." And he goes, "Well, suppose we get to Z." I said, "Then we go into double letters."
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
he would think about it and he'd shake his head and eye roll. But it's true. We have this family motto, never give up and always try, because
Absolutely.
there's always something else. So
Yeah.
the acceptance is, yeah, this is your limitations, and this is what you're really, really good at, and this is what you're really strong. And I do the same with me. There are so many things that I had to accept about myself. I had to put some of my dreams about myself on the back burner. And like you, I realized that I have a whole nother purpose in life that is much more purposeful. The
Meaningful.
purpose, you're right, your
Yeah.
purpose being purposeful, that it
Yeah.
really wasn't about me. It was really about helping others through the knowledge that I learned by helping him. And I feel that this is where you and I have a lot in common, because
Absolutely.
we're very resilient, the both of
Yeah.
us, because we
Yeah.
were determined to not only make our kids happy, but
Mhm.
also to make ourselves happy as well. We did not
Absolutely.
forget about us in the process. And that's
Absolutely.
huge. And that's also another lesson for another day.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Is there anything else you
Thank
wanted
you.
to add before we just close our eyes and have a nice little still present moment?
Well, I think what I'm going to be taking a look through something called ACT, which is acceptance and commitment training, and there are 6 components to that, and acceptance was one of them. So I look forward to talking more about this, and I look forward to the meditation you have to offer, Deborah.
Wonderful. And I look forward to offering, different types of mind enhancing, spiritual, metaphysical, just energetic medicine techniques to help us remember that we are worthy and deserving as well. So close your
Absolutely.
eyes for just a second. I'll close my eyes too. Take a deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. And find your own comfortable breathing rhythm. And it feels so good just to go inward, just to relax. And with your wonderful imagination, because imagination is inspired information, just find that really beautiful place that you feel safe and secure and comforted. Oh, it could be anywhere. It could be your backyard. It could be your bed. It could be the beach or a walk in the woods. Or maybe your child at home, wherever it is, just go there now. And with your eyes closed and with your wonderful imagination, call in those very special people in your life in your mind's eyes that make you laugh, that you trust, that have your back, and who love you very, very much. Always have and always will. Yes, and just allow them to give you an energetic hug. Whether it's one or if you're surrounded in a circle, being embraced. And now smile, because there's something very magical about smiling. By smiling, it activates your vagal nerve. And that brings you back into balance. And as my good friend Shelley always says, smile on yourself. So smile on yourself. That's right. And on the count from 1 to 3, come back up. 1, 2, feeling so much calmer and relaxed and yet mentally alert and feeling good, feeling really at peace and good. And 3, eyes open, very alert, wide awake, and feeling just,
Yes, great to
and
take on the day.
that's right.
Yes.
Do something good for yourself today, whether it's enjoying a good book or doing a chair yoga routine or getting outside if the weather's nice.
Mm.
God bless. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.